Today I'm smoking Sutliff tobacco. It's chocolate. It's quite good. I'm not a fan of aromatics, generally speaking, but I find when I mix them in with a straight Virginia or a straight Burley, I enjoy the flavor of the aromatic a lot more. And also because this is Sutliff, and Sutliff is going the way of the dinosaur, it helps me stretch out my stock. I need a new lighter. There we go. Anyway, got quite a bit of Sutliffs stored up in my cellar. Anyway, it's a beautiful morning. I've got my tea, got my pipe, I've got some thoughts. We find it very difficult to apologize. And that's because of the inherent pride that we all have within us. It's ironic because whenever we're offended, we expect an apology. We expect somebody to make it right. And it's easy for us to expect from others because, after all, we deserve it. We've earned it. That lighter's dead, too. At least we like to think we deserve it. We like to think we've earned it. Because we think we're just so important. It's pride. But when it comes to us actually making an apology ourselves, we fight it. We don't want to do it because it's a blow to our pride. Really, that's all we have to lose in apologizing. It's a little bit of pride. I've known people, it seemed they were physically incapable of an apology. They would do anything but apologize. When they did apologize, it was more like an excuse. It wasn't an apology. It was an admission of having done wrong. It was a long-winded explanation as to why they did or said what they did or said. And that was expected to be good enough. I recently had to apologize to a friend. I had insulted him. Unintentionally. He called me out on it. And I was genuinely sorry. And I apologized to him. Admitted I was out of line. And he very graciously forgave me. Our friendship continues. Here's the crazy thing. apologizing isn't that hard to do. It's simply a matter of acknowledging that you were wrong. But somehow it is very difficult for us to do, at least for a lot of us. And that's pride. I've had to learn over the years to be quick to apologize. I've had to apologize to my wife, apologize to my children, apologize to many people. Because I am human and I will make mistakes. I will hurt people. It's just part of being human. But what I've found is that the more familiar you become with the practice of apologizing, the easier it becomes. Especially once I realized that the only thing you have to lose through apologizing is a little bit of pride. And who couldn't stand to lose a little bit of pride, practice a little humility? But it's so hard for us to do because we are prideful creatures. Very prideful creatures. And we should be ashamed of that. Acknowledge that we are prideful, arrogant creatures and strive to do better. When we are humble and willing to apologize for our mistakes, we can only build, or at least repair, what we have hurt. Those of us who refuse to apologize only create damage to relationships, damage to those things that are constructive. We damage our own reputations. Those I've known throughout my life who refuse to apologize for things and acknowledge they've done wrong have permanently damaged their own reputations. Because in the end, they have no regret for the hurt they caused. The only thing that matters to them is their pride. The image that they're trying to create of being a perfect person, which none of us are. They've fallen into a delusion. And they're trying to create an illusion of perfection. If we're honest with ourselves and honest with others, we should be ready to acknowledge our own failings and weaknesses and apologize when needed. I think more people should learn to apologize. Be quick to apologize, to acknowledge that they've done wrong. Unfortunately, it seems to me that there are many, many people who cannot, will not issue an apology for things they've truly done wrong, whether it's hurting friends or family or anyone. We live in a narcissistic society. And we should try to rise above that. The change that we want to see in the world should begin with ourselves. But somehow, we have this tendency to expect that change out of other people first. When we see an issue in the world, we're pointing fingers at people, saying, oh, you're doing this wrong, you're doing that wrong. You should do this differently, you should do that differently. What about ourselves? Because we have no control over other people, but we can change ourselves. We have control over ourselves. And when we choose not to acknowledge that, we are, in fact, no agent of change at all. We're contributing to the problem. And so, when we're ready to acknowledge that we need to change, and we do so, we apologize for our misdeeds. We're actually making a positive difference in the world. A small one, albeit. But you can't become a better, stronger person, a better friend, a better spouse, a better parent, a better whatever it is, unless you're first ready and willing to admit that you are not perfect. And the greatest admission of imperfection, in my opinion, is an apology to those whom you've affected through your imperfections. Now, in telling the story of my own apology, I'm not bragging. This is something I've had to learn to do over the course of my life. I wasn't given a good example growing up. I grew up in a family where certain members who were influential in my formative years refused to apologize for anything. It wasn't until my adult years I started seeing the value in this. So anyway, that's my thought for the day. Humility and willingness to apologize. It does far more good than I think we recognize. And there are far too few people doing it. Nowadays, pride is a big thing. And we need to overcome that. If we want to make a change in the world, we got to make that change here. And that starts with being ready to apologize. So, anyway, that's my thought for the day. I hope you have a good one. I'll catch you on the flip side.